Okay. Oh, I guess Steam had to restart while I was working on stuff. Okay, it's gonna take a smidge, but in that time frame while the game boots up, all right, and we are live properly and notified. People are gonna have to tell me how the volume is doing. It's Sonic CD time. Hello, Will-O-Wisp. Okay. Um, huh. My volume slider isn't working. That's annoying. Whatever. I'll just run with it. Volume sounds good. Okay. Let me just turn off display capture for a moment, so I can fiddle with my settings like a little bit. All right. Okay. I think there we go. Okay. I think I've got everything set. So I was practicing just to make sure the game worked well. Let's go. Oh, is that our? Why? So this is a fresh save file. Oh, this is a Japanese intro. Okay, well, whatever. Still good. This isn't Sonic Boom. Feels a little naked without the you can run, you can fly, you can reach the other side of the rainbow. Like, without that, it just feels a little like it's a cool cutscene, but it doesn't like exude this could be the intro to a Sonic movie kind of vibe. Just to be fair, this is kind of the test of almost the Sonic OVA in a way. But chronologically, this is more or less the second Sonic game. Wow, it feels completely off without Sonic Boom. Even though I like the Japanese soundtrack overall more, like the lack of lyrics and sound effects just make this kind of cool rather than really cool, you know? Bomb Tree Panic. I couldn't get this running. I was actually going to try and see if I could get this running on original hardware. That's right. We have. It took me. I only learned recently that those like big jumpy jumps are normal loop-de-loops, but done from a first-person or not first-person, a top-down perspective. Or they're trying to be. Like, obviously the Genesis can't really do that, so it's like there's a limit to what it can really handle, but okay. That's this game. In my opinion, this is easily the best. Yeah, Tails is in the game after you beat it in the Christian Whitehead ports. He's not in the original game, I'm pretty sure. It's up here, right? The generator is? It is the generator. We still have to get 50 rings like in Sonic 1 for this one. Oh, it's here. thing? Where's the generator? Here's the generator. Alright, here we go. Yeah, I thought it was genuinely he just runs up a big wall that's like a ramp to the rest of the stage. And then, you know, it does make more sense when you see the background flipping in all that. But yeah, as I was saying, I was trying to get this on the emulator that I was using for the first game. And that I'll be using for the second game, but... I couldn't get it to work. It seems like Sega CD stuff is really glitchy to emulate or not super reliable. Which, you know, typical Sega hardware. Like, Sega hardware seems to be really hard to emulate and work with in general. I mean, like, the Genesis was so popular that of course it has good emulation, but you know, it does not surprise me that Sega CD didn't work very well emulation-wise. Stream idea must not be very popular. Hello. Hello, CrossCorps. Hello, Rue. Because these haven't been super high view count, but I'm not surprised about it, and I don't really care. I want to play Sonic. I'm still going back and forth if I play the Game Gear games or not. I will say, what's weird about Sonic CD is, this is one of the games that I think would have worked the best if it had the drop dash by default. I mean, you can kind of get that experience with Sonic Origins, you know? But, you know, like, if you just want to play the original game, it's not quite... I don't know, it just feels like the level design fits it weirdly well. I will say the level design is better in this game than Sonic 1's level design, but that's a very low margin in my opinion, and it's not as good as Sonic 2. Or 3. I have been playing through Triple Trouble 16-bit, though. That's been pretty fun. I don't know if I'll do that instead of actual Triple Trouble for this playthrough. So, that... It's interesting that we see the holograms of Metal Sonic before he's appeared in the game properly. I don't remember where most of the generators are, honestly. But I'm going mostly for rings. I do think Sonic CD is one of my personal favorites of Sonic. I acknowledge its level design isn't perfect. Dare I say, in many regards, quite flawed. It's kind of what happens when you let the artists design the levels without having an actual gameplay designer really on staff to make the game balanced. But, you know, it's not terrible. You know, it's like I said, it's better than Sonic 1 is. Sonic 1, I like Sonic 1 as a general platformer overall, but this game's better. And then Sonic 2 and 3 are just fun. I think this game has the best soundtrack of the classic Sonic games. I think Metal Sonic is the best single Sonic boss in the classic Sonic games. I think the intro and outro assets are amazing and just like maybe some of the best Sonics ever looked. I don't know why I'm doing 50 rings. You don't get the giant rings. One of my pet peeves of the 50 ring system is that you can't get whatchamacallit, you can't get a ring on the goddamn Act 3s. And it's like, what the hell's the point? Like, you can easily do it. There could have been a ring here, but there isn't. You just cannot get Act 3 rings. But yeah, like I said, Sonic CD, I think, has the best looking... I think it's the best looking classic Sonic game. I'm going to be completely honest. I know... Hey, Amy. Weird that there's, like, spikes there. It's almost like you could move around. That's our introduction to metal. It's kind of why I said it's kind of weird that he has projectors in this game. Because he, like, isn't in the game until this point. But I think that was just like a design, like level design quota kind of thing. I am using original controls since I'm not emulating the original hardware. Kind of my makeup. These goddamn Mantis things are evil. That's the generator. Let me see. Can I... Okay, so there is a time... This is something that I think was a clever design choice for this game, which is they acknowledged that you would want to have easy access to time travel. He's got an ostrich mech. So they just gave you several areas where you could easily time travel. God damn it! This is what I'm talking about, where those Mantis bastards. Whatever. I'm gonna try and get the generators when I can. But no, do not expect like every stage will be a good future run. But they knew you would want to be able to time travel whenever you wanted. Sometimes, or whatever, and then sometimes the level design, it acts as a clue. Kind of is like what's cool about it. So it's like, oh, if they want me to time travel here, there must be something around here. But this is another example of, like, Sonic's... Like, look at this! Why? What are they doing? But to the question of what's my favorite 2D Sonic game, it's one of those, like, I think there's a difference in every single one of them for how they play and kind of feel. Enough that saying, like, oh, this one's just linearly my favorite, without acknowledging, like, the nuance between each of them, feels like it would be a little inaccurate. Because I love this game except for this shit. And this happens a lot. Like, not this specific interaction, but this kind of level design. It's like, where it's like, what the hell are they doing? Like, I have no clue what some of the high paths are on about in this game. But stage design-wise, this game's gorgeous. Like, this is so... Comparing this game to Sonic 1, visually, so night and day. It's insane to believe this is developed by the same team, like, right afterwards. Like, they went from making a game that almost looks like it could have been on the NES in some stages. Mainly in terms of assets. Not like Sonic himself looks good, and a lot of the foreground stuff looks good in Sonic 1, but the backgrounds tend to be a bit rough in Sonic 1 sometimes. Green Hill's pretty good, Starlight's pretty good, but like some of the wall textures and stuff in. But this game's beautiful by comparison, and the special stages are amazing. Yeah, I can see the argument that Sonic Ski is more fun when you're just playing for the silliness of it. I don't really go for the generators. Typically, I go for the time stones. But I don't try to be like a kind of save scum completionist about that. Ooh. iPad. But this game clearly, I will say, was made to be explored and like messed with and finished with. That doesn't mean it's the most fun like that, but it's to say what I think they wanted. I think they wanted Sonic CD to feel like that opening cutscene where you're in this huge area you're running around in. I think that was their kind of vision for the exploration aspect of this game. I'm not gonna say they succeeded, though. Because instead, it often just feels like you get launched around all over the place with no real control over that. God damn it. See, like, I'm just trying to avoid the future sign. I wonder which, like, Sonic CD or Sonic 2 came up with the whole, like, loose pinball theming first. Because I know they were developed at the same time, so I guess they just, like, were, like, both, like, what if we did arcadey-style pinball stages? Or are they both just riffing on Sonic 1? Okay, Sonic 06 is weird, because the topic of worst Sonic game, I think, is so complicated. Because I would argue that there's different types of worst in Sonic. There's Sonic 06 bad, where it's a really rushed, weird story with incredibly buggy gameplay. However, in the world where Sonic 06 was finished, I think it would have been a solid game. Minus at least being kind of made out of cardboard personality-wise, and the character design outside of the Sonic cast, and even in the Sonic cast, not being the best in the series. Like I don't know, just the way the characters move, and like the lack of mouth flaps and all that, it just makes them look very lifeless and unfinished. And I mean, that's because the game is unfinished. But there's the world where Sonic 06 was made well would have a more impressive final result game than something like the world where they finished Sonic Boom. You know, that's what's weird about that topic. And that's not even to say Sonic Boom was entirely the fault of Big Red Button. It really wasn't. It was Sega's fault for basically giving Big Red Button no choice or options in the matter, and telling them they were making a Wii U game even though they picked an engine and game design software around the PS4 and Xbox One and made the game with that specs in mind. It had a completely different tone and setup for the game set up, and then they said, nah, fuck you. But that's also like every bad Sonic game is like that. So yeah, I think Sonic 06 is the worst released Sonic game, is what I'll say. But I think it would have been a solid game if given the attention it needed. As for best Sonic game, I honestly think it's Mania. I know Sonic 3 is probably the arguable, like, ooh, champion of Sonic. But in terms of officially released Sonic games, I can't think of a game that I like more than Mania. Mania, I think, did everything I want a Sonic game to do, like, near perfectly. It's gorgeous visually. It's got great gameplay. The music is phenomenal. It has that perfect like mixture of like some exploration with the big rings. It's got good flow segments, good speed segments. Like it does everything the prior Sonic games do individually well, but it has all of them. The only thing I think Sonic Mania lacks is it's a little too nostalgia based. It's a little bit too much about like the prior stages, and I know that's part of the story. I know it's meant to be kind of a celebration game, but I don't think it needed that. I think the biggest celebration of Sonic would have been having all of the virtues the original Sonic games had and not needing, you know, to show every prior stage to get that. In terms of like 3D games, it's probably... I actually really like Adventure 1. Like, I was shocked by how much I was enjoying playing through it. Because I always hear it's like, well, Sonic had a rough transition to 3D, and then I play the goddamn game, and I almost dropped my drink. And then it's fucking amazing. It's like extremely fun and easy to pick up. I think a lot of people are left with the impression of Sonic Adventure being slightly worse than it is because of the DX port. Not that the DX port is like unbelievably terrible. There are things about it that are better than the original, but the original isn't that buggy. It like I wasn't having any of those bugs when playing through it in the Dreamcast version. And visually, I really like how it looks. It's like you know how I was talking about how Sonic 06, I didn't like how the characters were proportioned and moved. Yeah, like Adventure is kind of corny with how it does character movement. But you know, like I guess I don't mind it in the context of but I guess I don't mind it in the context of Sonic Adventure 1. And also, not so much in Adventure 2, even though the acting's sometimes a little rough in both those games. God damn, there we go. I remember when I was a kid, I was stuck on the stage all the time. Now, I also will say 3D Sonic games were not up until Tempest. They just figured out how to make good Labyrinth Zone. Like, once again, it's kind of one of those, it's incredible this is made by the same team moments where it's like, they just made, like, this is everything Labyrinth Zone was meant to be, in my opinion. The music, like the mysterious vibe. There's a lot more above air segments in Labyrinth than there are and it's not to say I'm good at Tidal Tempest, by the way. Don't get me wrong with that. And that's not to say there's no bullshit in Tidal Tempest, because there is. It's those stupid little crab guys who shoot at the tiny little flecks that kill you. But there's more above ground segments, so it's easier to stay on the top path than it is in Sonic 1's Labyrinth, but which I do want to go a little lower to get. But like I said, Sonic 3 or Sonic Adventure, I think, you know, 2 has the better story, but I would actually, I actually prefer, I think, of what I've played of both so far. Now, that's not, I'm gonna put an asterisk towards this. I prefer Sonic Adventure 1 so far, from what I know of both and what I've played of both. However, I think when Sonic Adventure 2 does what Sonic Adventure 1 does better, when it's doing it well. When it's... Oh, what? Whatever. And what I mean by that is it does the Sonic stages better than Sonic 1 does. Or Sonic Adventure 1 does. But I think it does the everything else stages worse. Oh, also on the topic of worst Sonic game. Yeah, sneeze. I'll also argue that Sonic Forces is the... I've sometimes heard people say, like, Sonic's kind of corporate cool in a way, where it's like the trying hard to be cool, like, energy, you know? And I usually don't agree with that, but Sonic Forces, I think, is the one time where I'll say... See, what I don't like about these enemies is... I'm not really sure what the intended way to avoid them is. Like, there's a lot of the enemies I think I've kind of gotten accustomed to in Sonic 1 for, like, what you're meant to do with them. I'm not 100% on some of the enemy placements in this game. No, I have just to appease you Sonic CD level design. Go on the other path. Okay, this is just a time travel spot. Never mind. Oh, there's so many things I love about Sonic CD. This is the best sounding. Not even just in music, but in sound design. Minus the repetitiveness of some of the sounds. This is the best sounding Sonic game. Only it had its own Sonic sprite. I could say it has the best Sonic sprite too. But it just has Sonic 1 sprite. Which is pretty good. I like the more cobalt blue of Sonic 2 sprite. I could get that generator, but I just kind of want to get to the end of the stage, because it's still a water level at the end of the day. If I beat Sonic CD this stream, like, within an hour, which is not likely, but possible. Oh. Right. Hey. There we go. I'll switch over to Sonic 2 and see how far I can get to that. I have until about 5 o'clock, and it's about 2:55, so I've got a decent amount of time. And I'm kind of flying through the game right now. I have played this game a lot. I think this is my most played Sonic game. And this is the version of it. I mean, I played the mobile version, but it's the same core game. I'm just using a controller. The only thing that's throwing me a little off about this game is I have to use the stick for whatever reason. It doesn't register my D-pad. My controller. I'm using the same controller I always do for these streams. Like, it's the same PS5 controller I use for everything. So I can't use a D-pad, which I usually prefer for classic games like this. But I guess this port was made before. Come on. I guess this port was made before PS5, and then before whatever hardware like architecture they're using. I think this was made when the Xbox 360 controller was like the default for everything. Okay, so this is my favorite time stone visually. I love the turquoise ones. I wish one of the Chaos Emeralds always looked like that. Sometimes they draw that kind of turquoise, but I just love that color. That's that's more than half the time stones. Like I've only missed one stage's chance for a time stone. Yeah, okay, this one, also the stage is a better version of the boss gimmick of Labyrinth Zone. Like, it just does the same idea better. Where you have, you know, this whole stage, right, where you're running and chasing Eggman. And then he's like trying to get away from you, right? And he just starts getting afraid because his thing's breaking. And then you chase him all the way down here. Then he's like, but I have a gimmick. And then you get the actual boss fight, rather than Labyrinth Zone where he just pieces the fuck out. I also love the weird boss fight music in this game. Metal's the only one with like a normal boss theme in this entire game, and it's because he just reuses Bad Future for Stardust Speedway, but like this is just such a basic but cool like boss gimmick. It's so obvious. But actually, I think this might have the best Sonic bosses of the early games. I mean, some of them are a little annoying, but I kind of like them all. I also like that Metallic Madness breaks the usual Sonic trope of, for some reason, on a lot of classic Sonic, they had this idea that, like, oh, we'll give them no rings for the final boss. But you get rings for Metallic Madness. You can fucking bullshit your way through that fight. And it's part of why I like Metal's fight so much, is because it's not about that. Like, you can lose no matter how many rings you have in that fight, because it's about just your genuine skill at playing Sonic. You know, like, Metal's... Like I said, Metal is the best classic Sonic boss. God damn it. That's my emergency wake-up alarm, in case I didn't. I try to wake up naturally, because, you know, that's a little bit better for you. Because you're waking up on your own. Am I already at the end of the stage? Okay, since I kind of blitz through this stage, I kind of want to go through it again. Get rings. Then none? Okay. Well, whatever, I'll just go to the end stage and it'll just get stuff in the next one. I have most of the time stones anyway. Okay, Sonic 3 Knuckles has some good bosses, but I really like the bosses in this game. Big Arm Doomsday and Super Mecha. Yeah, I guess there is Mecha. But also, like, that game has so many stages, and all of those are, like, big climactic fights for the most part. Whereas, like, the normal bosses in this game are good. It is kind of what I'm saying, like, that stands out about it. It's like, Sonic 3 has the better, like, climactic big boss fights, but what I like is, I'm already at 50. Okay, so I can just blitz through the end of the level. Am I even... And I was looking away to read chat, and that got me messed up. I mean... CD bosses I feel a bit weird about. Because I think the bosses are very creative in this game. God damn it. This is one of my least favorite things about this game is when it gives you this goal sign to warn you you're at the end of the stage. But then you get screen locked. You can't go back. I could have just collected 6 rings. Am I already to start a speedway after this? I swear, I'm gonna get 20 lives by the end of... like this run. This boss, I did not understand the premise of this boss for ages. I now... The boss is very obvious in concept now. It's just a survival fight. But I was just like, how do I hit him? That's all I could think about for ages with this fight. But in hindsight, it's a really simple boss. Like, this might be the easiest boss in the game minus the first one. Once you know, all you do is you run right when the thing comes up. This does not help my point about the bosses being good at this game. The original 20 out of 11 release is when I played a lot of this. Yeah, it's just a battle attrition fight. This, like I said, really the worst thing to happen when I'm trying to say this game has decent bosses. Oh, it's Wacky Workbench. This is the worst stage in the game. I'm kind of shocked that the concept of the exploration rings didn't come from this game. This game is so exploration based and is so made around it, and it kind of fits the vibe of this game too. To have exploration rings, so it's kind of weird that they didn't. Like, there's... I appreciate that they thought they could do a Sonic game, or a Sonic level, with basically, like, entirely vertical level design. I appreciate that premise. I respect why that was almost a good idea. But what the fuck am I looking at? You know? Where the fuck am I? If I hadn't played a ton of this stage, I would have gotten hit by now. The fact that I haven't, like, it's going to happen. Like, you don't... You really don't get out of Wacky Workbench without getting hit, usually. This is Act 1, there's 2 of these fucking things. just get me to the end. Are you goddamn kidding me? What am I... Wait, what am I supposed to do here, then? If this takes me just down... I mean, don't get me wrong. The gimmick of Wacky Workbench, funny. Like, it's a funny, kind of endearing premise. But the level design... God, I can't... You can't see it. I need to get on this platform, and I just have to guess where it is. Okay, hold on. God damn it. This is why it's like... Okay, can I, like, look down? I can't see far enough down to see it. I'm just going to bet it's going to be there one of these attempts. Okay. Oh my god, and the fact that there's no bouncy platform there. Wait, is there a platform here? I didn't even... I just now processed there was a platform there. Okay. How the hell did I beat this with a gold ring? Here for nostalgia. I mean, this is a nostalgia game. Like, I love this game at its core. I can't believe I got a Wacky Workbench no-hit. Right there. Oh, it's the seizure stage. This is an Earthbound background. Wait, this one... I remember... There's one of the stages I remember being really goddamn hard. But I also feel like it's one of those, if it's hard enough, I'll probably have it memorized. You know? I wanna... Premise of these special stages is also, like, I'm not quite... I'm not 100% on what the premise of these stages are. I mean, none of the Sonic stages make any goddamn sense premise-wise for the special stages. I think they all are in some way kind of illogical. Because they're not really meant to make sense. They're supposed to be kind of like spaces out of time as like their whole vibe. Like, this is kind of what Sega interpreted the idea of like a pocket dimension. That they had the mercy. Damn it. Make these, yeah, the middles be kind of slow. There. And there we go. I'm playing the current PC release, or not current, I'm playing the version you can download from Steam, which I think is the 2011 version. I've never had a Mega CD, so I've never been able to play the original release. I like this a little bit though, like the idea of that like little launch off. I think that's cool. For the most part though, with Wacky Workbench, you just have to try and keep chugging along. But this, like, this is what I don't like, is that whole, like, launching gameplay loop, because it's like, what are you supposed to do? I know you're going to say, like, people are going to say, like, oh, you're supposed to hop around the platforms. Obviously. Yeah, obviously. But
getting on the platforms when you're being launched around at a kajillion miles per hour by weird, inconsistent physics. It's really jarring and like hard to work with. I'm trying my damnedest to get it to go the other way, though. I know it's timing based, but... There we go. God damn. This is what I'm talking about. Like, the levels in this game can sometimes be a kind of unforgiving in a way. I'm like, what was I supposed to... My bad. That one was my fault. I should have just done that. But I think the game gave enough warning time. But these things! I swear you cannot see them until it's too late, usually. Maybe I'm thinking just Wacky Workbench Act 2 is the really annoying one, and the first one isn't that bad. I think part of what annoys me about... Okay, I'm done with it, whatever, who cares? Phantom Ruby involved at this time? No, the Phantom Ruby was a Sonic Mania and Sonic Forces thing. That wouldn't come until like the 2020 or 2017, technically. And the boss. This is once again the boss. I think is inventive in this game and like creative, or in the stage. And it's once again not that bad once you're used to it, but it's not a super intuitive boss. For this first one, you just... that. Luckily, they had some mercy in the fact that they didn't make you instantly get crushed by the falling. Sonic 1 would have had you be instantly crushed. I'm loosely going for the good ending. If I don't get it, I don't really care. I didn't get it with Sonic 1. Yeah. Look at the stage lights. I do think I'll probably get the good ending in the form of the time stones. This is basically the Starlight Zone in this game, I will say. I mean that in the best way. Albeit, it is a very confusing stage. So it's the most Sonic 2 style stage. Yeah, like this feels... like this could have been in Sonic 2, even if it's a little out of place there. But look at the background on this one, like... where am I going? What? How do I... oh, okay. It just kind of wants me to vibe. Oh. Okay. But Sonic 2 has those big, huge, like, flow segments. Yeah, the levels are a mess in Sonic CD, but they're a fun mess. Come on. I'm just kind of lost in the sauce now. No. No, it's going to bring me to the goal! Let me go back. I am so close to having enough rings. Come on. How do I get to this path? I just need one more. Come on, it's right. There we go. There we go. Alright. There we go. Okay, we got it. We got it. We got the good future. Probably. How many times does I have? I have 6 right now. This is supposed to be... I know each of the special stages are like loosely supposed to be one of like the stages. Granted, they're kind of weird and vague. They don't make a lot of sense. Like I already mentioned that earlier. It's like they're kind of all like by design somewhat irrational. Come on, give me. Okay, I might fail the special stage. Give me the goddamn UFO. Or give me one of these two. God damn it, I was about to hit it. I actually do really like Sonic CD special stages too. I don't know if they're my favorite. They might be, honestly. Modern Sonic's weird. Modern Sonic has like these moments where it's really cool and I really love what they're like going for. And then there are moments where I'm like, what? Guys. Come on, you can do it. I believe in you. But look at the background on this. The stars are like beautiful on this stage. I don't think I've ever really like 100%ed the PC port of this game. The original 2011 port, at least, or whatever version this is. So I haven't really seen a lot of these stages just like in full. Sometimes. Hell, come on. But like, any of these could be backgrounds. All of them, like desktop backgrounds. Actually, I want to intentionally go back. Oh. Even like the stage names I really like in this game. Not really like a thing you pay it like a lot of attention to in a Sonic game, but like Stardust Speedway just sounds cool. It just sounds like important and impressive. Like, one of the coolest things about this game is characters. What do you mean? What do you mean too many characters? Is that like a modern Sonic? Like, I also am not quite sure what that refers to, because one of the things that I actually don't like about modern Sonic that I think the classic Sonic games did better was they had more playable characters. And they were pretty good at the playable character things up until Adventure. Like, the modern Sonic games are the ones where there is Sonic, and if you are lucky, maybe there's a gimmick where you play as an alternate form of Sonic. Yeah, this segment isn't that bad. I remember this one pretty well. Like, one of the biggest complaints about, like, modern Sonic is that there's not enough characters. Playable characters. And even characters in the story, it's like, Sonic Forces has an ensemble cast, for example, but, like, none of them do anything except for talk. And almost all of them should be able to do something in that game. Which is part of why they're really annoying inclusion-wise. The additional classes have been loaded. I don't get that statement, period. That feels like a very 2011, we're looking for a thing to hate on Sonic because he's had bad games lately kind of take. Because it's like, what? Like, here, I'll go through every classic Sonic, or not every, like, legacy Sonic character. Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, Robotnik, the Chaotix with Charmy, Vector. Actually, they don't appear in most things, so we're going to kind of half count them. We've actually gone through all of the main Sonic characters already, actually. The ones that regularly appear in multiple games. Shadow appears sometimes, when they feel like having him there. But he doesn't do anything half the time. Okay, when Shadow is part of the plot of a game, he does a lot. Usually, though, they just are like, he's out there. And that's kind of all he does. When Shadow's a part of the plot, he's really a part of the plot. Usually he's not, though. Like, they don't even mention he exists in Sonic Unleashed. Even though he probably could have solved half the problems of that game on his own. Like, I have no clue why Shadow, the last wish of my best friend's sibling figure, is to just protect the people of this planet, did not help fight the evil dragon demon monster at the center of the Earth. Yeah, he's a factor with Infinite, but then he doesn't appear in the main plot until the DLC. It's like I said, he's like, if he's not part of the plot, he's kind of just there sometimes, or not even mentioned. Now we're to the best Sonic boss fight. This is what I think the blueprint for a good Sonic boss fight should be. Now, I can get not liking Sonic, I think that's fine. But I think the specific complaint too many characters doesn't make a lot of sense. Because most of the extended cast only appear when they're either just there to show how filled the world is, or when they're actually part of the plot, like in Sonic But someone asked earlier, like, what my thoughts on Metal Sonic were. The short answer is I really like Metal. I think when Metal Sonic is done well, which is about 50% of the time, he is maybe the coolest Sonic rival character. And I think you can do some really cool writing decisions with Metal. It even, like, this stage even has 2 layers, like most Sonic stages are. And it's the only one that's fail state isn't just getting hit. Metal's eyes didn't used to be red, that was kind of a retroactive thing. They kind of decided over time his eyes would be red. Yeah, like, usually when they have a lot of the extended Sonic cast, it's because it's, like, relevant to the concept. Like, I just made fun of Sonic Forces for the characters not doing anything, but also, like, it wouldn't feel like the entire world's been taken over if the entire cast of characters weren't there, you know? Like, that's... If it was just Tails and Sonic and, like, a mention of Knuckles, like in Sonic Unleashed, and maybe 1 or 2 new characters, it wouldn't really feel like the entire world was at stake, or, like, fighting back, which is the plot of that game, you know? I guess there's no point. I guess I can just blitz through this stage. We're only an hour in, and I'm almost done with this game. Metallic Madness might be my favorite final zone. Like, it's difficult, but between the music, just like the weird vibe of it all, that just every Sonic CD stage exudes, I kind of vibe with it. Like, I'm already at the end of it. That was it. Fun! Fun! But to go to my Sonic list of, like, characters, so, like, maybe if we're doing an extended cast, we have the Chaotix with Vector, Charmy, SBO. We probably will have Rouge in there and Shadow if we're doing a full Sonic Adventure 2 style cast. Is that my first death? I think that's my first death. Have I died? Like, I've failed the special stage, but have I died prior to that? Or no, that was Mania. I think this game. I don't remember if this game does an original, like, base counterpart. Oh, you could have gone. I could have gone through that. So, one of the weird gimmicks of the stage. 9 panels thing. This enemy is kind of annoying. I don't much care for him. Right back at the start of the stage. Should have known. Never stop running right. Oh, I think Mario CD would have been good if Nintendo didn't fuck it up. Yeah. I don't know what it would exactly be to take advantage, because Nintendo loves really taking advantage of the hardware of whatever they're working on. I don't really know what that would entail. Backgrounds. This background reminds me a lot of the Land of Darkness from Sonic. I wonder if they based it, like, on this segment. Speaking of which, Sonic OVA. Also peak Sonic, except for when it isn't. Which is the summary of Sonic itself, so peak Sonic. I think Sonic's like Ben 10. It's one of those, like, when it's really good, it's really fucking cool. When it's not, you know, you're still kind of fascinated by how it isn't. Oh, yeah. Of the weird, various slow stage gimmicks, this one doesn't annoy me that much because there's, like, a rhythm to it. Like, it's not fast, but you can kind of tolerate it. This is dumb. I think that's dumb. Eggman is absolutely rapping, you are correct. How am I supposed to survive this part? I guess I'm supposed to get out of the range of the detonation. By the way, the lyrics of this song are stuff like... like, with my army of bionic animatronics, I'll catch that hedgehog called Sonic. Can't remember the exact words of it. God damn it. It's gonna be most of my deaths because I can't find any rings. And there's not enough, like, area here to build up speed. To go to the future. I forgot that you could kind of walk on these. Oh, there is a miniaturization segment. I love this stupid little gimmick. Yeah, it is very Willy Mapp in lyrics. Could you imagine trying to get the final rings on the stage? I know I said it wasn't that hard, because it really isn't. Like, that segment there, right there, was unusual for this stage, in my opinion, for how kind of hard it felt. Like I said, overall, I feel like this game's usually not that hard. Marketable plushy Sonic, kinda. That's a bait, because I want you to go right, that's your instincts, but they actually... There. Full-scale Sonic again. And... I think this is the end of the stage. Oh, yeah, they have this little segment. Once again, this could be a little faster. But it's the end of the stage. So. Oh, I did see that. Oh, we should watch the Secret of the Mimic teaser video when I'm done with Sonic CD. I'm an evil doctor with a rad genius and a bad minions to help me sink the planet. And a Dominion with a battle on IQ like they've never seen. Yeah, he's... I can't really do it on the fly. But I know... Oh yeah, we're at the end of the game. This is the final segment. This is what a good future stage looks like, by the way. I was supposed to be making these the whole time. But I haven't been doing that. But yeah, like, the good futures are all, like, really happy and optimistic. Favorite classic Sonic game. I already mentioned this earlier. It's this game in Sonic. I really like Sonic 3, and I think it's the best classic Sonic game. But pure experience-wise, I like playing this game, and I like Sonic. Though, I think if I played more Sonic 3, it would be my favorite. I don't remember if they wanted me to continue on the stage. I like these little rooms here. Like these almost mini boss fights in a way. Now it's final boss time. This is such a weird boss fight. Like, how they want you to beat it. I'm a little unsure how you're meant to beat it. No hit, but I'm gonna give it a shot. Oh, okay. God damn it, I almost hit him without... I wanted to try and beat this no-hit, because it's not an easy boss. Yeah, and then he does like a pogo thing to hit him pretty easily on. I like that he changes his moveset based on how much. No, you can. It's just very... You can beat him without hurting yourself. It's just super precise. Like, if I didn't... Oh, and the best end credits cut of all time. Get ready. Hold on. This is still my favorite weird cut. It's one of sound effects. Why is it in the intro? I love how this cuts to the credits. Good feature. But specifically the credits theme when it changes. It's so peaceful. And it's so happy. And you're just like, wow, Little Planet's free from Earth, or Mobius. Is this the credits theme? Here we go. This isn't the credit theme, what the fuck? Where's the rap? What the hell? This is not my Sonic CD. In the end, who's on your side? Where is it? This is naked. This is missing what we really need for this outro. It's just an instrumental. It's a cool instrumental. What games am I counting? I'm gonna go through up to Sonic 3 and Knuckles for my first playthrough. Then I think I'm gonna go through the portable games. Then I'll figure out what counts as a 2D Sonic game after this. They cut the lyrics in the 2011 version? Those bastards! Yeah, there's no lyrics. It's pissing me off. I can't believe they messed that up. I love the made-up word "persevate." I think she's trying to say in the song, in the lyrics though. I think she says, "You've got to persevere with yourself if you want to make friends" or something like that. It's the same intro, yeah. I don't know why. How did? I mean, where are my weird corny rap lyrics? Yeah, Mega Drive 1 and Sonic 1 and 2 are separate games. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think I'll do those. Yeah. Okay. So. Okay. I guess they didn't have the rights to it. Exactly. Cosmic Eternity is so cool. It's so silly, but it's so cool. By the way, this game only took me an hour. I finished this game an hour faster than Sonic 1. No, yeah, we're going to listen to Cosmic Eternity. Just to spite. Yeah, you're too cool. I don't really get the idea of the flowers as much in this game, but I like it. Yeah, we're going to listen to Cosmic Eternity. Hold on. So we do have Tails, but I'm not gonna do an every character run. How do I escape Sonic CD? Okay. All right. We're doing Cosmic Eternity. This is not. This isn't. No, it's not. It's not Sonic CD's ending. No, not 2011. This is the real ending. I love Toei Sonic's design. Like, this is the perfect Sonic design, and like. Here we go. This is Cosmic Eternity. If it doesn't have my corny, believe in yourself rap lyrics, it is not the ending to Sonic CD. I still don't know how Little Planet does that, but it's a weird planet out of time, whatever, it's magic. Hard cut. And there's Dubious Step. What are they even saying there? Sonic hit the jackpot?
To go. Nothing to do. If you gotta do something, believe in yourself. Yourself. Hey!
Extraordinary things can happen if you believe in yourself. You got to have faith in yourself if you want respect from your friends.
What is persevate? I love the word persevate. I don't think it's a word. what's weird is I think Metal was originally meant to have gray eyes with a red glow in the center. Okay, that was Cosmic Eternity. Let's watch the goddamn. Let's go to Steel Wall. Let's watch the FNAF Secret of the Mimic teaser. I mentioned Into the Pit's ending reminds me a lot of that, where it's just random lyrics that you do not expect to be there. So what does this say? I know, already. Picture start. Is this just normal? MCN Universal Leader. Splice here. Leader as in film leader? Like for the film role?
You look terrible. I'm exhausted. So much to do by morning. I'll never be ready for my big presentation.
Real mouth.
All I want to do is sleep. Why sleep when you can stay up latte? Stay up late? No, latte. It's new. For mine. Try it. Oh, distinctive taste. Rich and roasted, yet creamy and sweet. Give me more. That's my secret recipe. The Stay Up Latte creates the perfect...
Coffee bot! After 14 long years. Or however long.
cup of coffee suited to you, based on your coffee habits.
I know what you want better than you do. I am always watching and learning how another coffee.
Edwin, don't put the Mimic in a coffee machine. You idiot. Everyone makes fun of Henry for being like a dumbass for like his plan to stop Afton failing if you count Fazbear Frights or whatever. Or like novel Henry's weird nonsense. You cannot tell me this guy made this ad with this voice and is not completely insane pre-Mimic or anything.
How another come, how another come, how another.
Morning.
What was that?
How another come, how another come, how another.
What am I looking at? This is clearly the same arm type as the nurse robot. Is this the nurse? What am I looking at?
Morning.
Creator, don't turn me into a marketable coffee machine.
Did you stay up all night? No, I stayed up latte. After 2 full pots, I'm ready to work. Promotion, here I come. That's the very difference.
So, I know people are talking about, like how does Secret of the Mimic fit into like the continuity, and how does Tails fit in the continuity? I will say Tails really did not represent Murray-Co the way this does. Like this continues to add to the idea, like that Murray-Co is a big company, not just a guy in a lonely factory. Clutch Cargo, look it up. Yeah. Granted, we knew there was like stuff between the Mimic short story and like the present day of the series. So it's not completely impossible, but whatever. Oh yeah, it could be like bacon soup from Bendy. It could be like a health item or a speed item, or like it will function as a mechanic. That's possible. Okay, so let me boot up Sonic 2, I guess. Like, give it a shot at it. I don't know if I'll beat it today. But Might have crashed because I clicked out of the window. This is one thing I'm not happy with RetroArch is it for some reason crashes when I go out of the window. And I don't get how that happens. Let's see, is this gonna work? Okay, yeah, it's gonna work. Okay. I can use my D-pad again. Ooh, we're getting some screen tearing. Maybe I picked the wrong emulator. There's 2 different Genesis emulators I have. I'm not sure which one's better because I'm getting screen tearing. I also have this game decently memorized because of... I might switch emulators for this, honestly. Because I'm not a fan of it. Or it's a filter thing. Let me try fidgeting with filter some. Or shader. Let me just go for like a generic, like CRT. What's this one? It's a little dull color-wise, but it'll work. As long as it doesn't have screen tearing. Was Henry ever referred to as Henry Emily? Was he Henry Murray? That would be a weird twist. I don't really see the point in that twist because he's called Edwin Murray in the trailers already. So it's I doubt they're going to pull a rug pull that Edwin and Henry are the same character or related. I mean, maybe they are. Maybe it's like, maybe he's Henry's cousin or whatever, or brother. I guess I wouldn't mind that reveal just to explain, like, if it was literally just like Henry got his job because, or Edwin has these connections because he's related to Henry or whatever. I guess I wouldn't mind that concept, just to like tie him into the story a little bit more, but it would still be weird and kind of unnecessary. Get ready for half this game to be special stages, by the way. Distant relative. Yeah, it would be weird, but I wouldn't... If it happened, I wouldn't be like, they ruined the character if they did it, you know? I guess it would explain, like, the puppety kind of connections if they were related. Like, it was just a character the 2 of them used a lot, for example, like as kids or whatever. Once again, how's the music on Sonic 2? It's a different sound mixing. It would be kind of dumb. Still wasn't above renaming Acton. I think they... Okay, hold on. I don't think Steelwool would do that. I know Steelwool has gotten some bad kind of credit throughout the years. Mainly because of security breach, but I don't think they're that dumb. You do not rename the guy whose last name is uncannily synonymous with the series at this point. That's just such a that would just be like such a why would you ever do that? Like, what does this benefit you? Kind of maneuver. Like, what? Why would you need to because why would you need to do that? Okay, here's what I got out of that Steelwool interview, kind of going back to it off stream and kind of thinking about what they said to myself. I think what they were kind of saying was, yeah, and I mentioned this when I was watching it, and I think I think this is the best comparison I can make. Tails and the Security Breach arc are written in a very similar way to how Dragon Ball Super was handled. Toriyama had a story in mind, and he gave his manga successor Toyotaro and Toei both the same notes about what that story was. However, they weren't communicating with each other, so they just made whatever they wanted, basically, respectively. So Toyotaro had his vision of what those notes looked like and what those meant, and then Toei had their vision. And between the two, you can kind of tell the overall story. You're not going to be completely lost if you go back and forth. But you will notice obvious differences if you go through both. I think that's what happened with the Security Breach arc, where Scott had his outline of what the story was, and the Tails game crew interpreted it their way, and the Steel Wool crew interpreted it their way. The Tails crew got a little bit better off because they were adapting stories written by Scott himself, whereas the Security Breach crew had to basically figure out and solve the lore themselves while making the game. But overall, it's still like adapting the same notes, and I have a feeling that we'll get like a better crossover between the two as time goes on, or a better connection of the two universes. I think I'll keep. You know what? For this, if I don't finish, you know, the one thing is I don't think RetroArch saves save states when you close it to redo stuff. I don't think I can close the game and open it in a different emulator right now, which is what I want to do to get rid of the screen tearing. But I don't like how I don't like the screen tearing. Know what's right around that corner is the thing. Let me take this path. Because there's a monkey right above that yellow whatchamacallit, bumper spring. Why did Eggman put spring? It's one of those, like, this will never really make sense. Why did Eggman feel the need to put springs in the walls of random grass areas? I mean, the springs already don't make a lot of sense, logistically, obviously. Like, obviously they don't make sense, but gameplay-wise, like, you kind of put up with it, you know? I could not tell you what, like, the theoretical benefit of randomly put springs in grass would be. God damn it! I fucking hate these monkey enemies. They're my least favorite part of Sonic 2. I don't want to be like super 100%-y completionist-y about Sonic 2, because I can beat it just fine without Supersonic, but I'm annoyed that I got 50 rings, I got to the goddamn thing, but because I lost my shield earlier, okay, close, okay, I got a ring monitor, I just need to go back and get the thing, do the platforming again with a dead monkey now. He loves trampolines, I guess. Now we get third special stage. I don't like this system. I don't like the checkpoint system, or checkpoint system. I tolerate it because it allows you to get a lot of chaos emeralds very quickly, which is kind of cool. But I think the big ring system of Sonic 3 is the best for handling special stages, because it really rewards like playing through the stages a lot and seeing a lot of cool different things, and like looking for secrets and paying attention, not just playing fast. I mean, I know playing fast is part of the point of Sonic to an extent. But it makes it more than just that, you know, it makes it engaging and interesting and cool, like, to look through the levels. I know his name is Coconuts, I don't give a shit, he's the stupid robot monkey. I'll become Frieza just for Coconuts. Hello, monkeys!
I'll wipe out their goddamn planet, which I guess is Mobius in this case because they're created by this here. It is weird that the back of the glove is like a red highlight thing. What I love about in the mobile port version, they were pretty good at making Tails not completely useless. Like Tails is actually kind of beneficial to have overall because he collects a lot of rings you wouldn't collect otherwise. But in this version, he just runs into shit all the time. Yeah, I think the special stages are really hard, so that's probably why they made them this way. I want to see. I don't think I've ever, in the original build of the game, without the enhanced special stages from the mobile port, I don't think I've ever gotten Supersonic pre-Act 2. Or pre-chemical plant. I have plenty of times in the mobile port, don't get me wrong. And I have the locations memorized. Like, I know how to do it. I have the locations memorized. And I have the technical capability to beat all the special stages. I just have never done it in one clean run. So I'll probably have to get the last couple stages in Chemical Plant, even when I play really well here. There's a little bit of exploration here. Alright, Emerald 4. I think the dumbest thing about the checkpoint system, though, is that if you get a later checkpoint early, it will often overwrite a prior checkpoint to prevent you from, like, losing progress. But because you need checkpoints to get this, you need to hit a checkpoint to get the special stage. It means you can't get a special stage if you get to, like, a later one early, basically. You have to go in, like, a certain order. And I really don't like that system. Tails, see what I mean? Like, I went over there a decent bit early, specifically to avoid Tails hitting the goddamn thing. But then he gets doom spiraled into these goddamn ring pits. Like, it almost might be beneficial to play this game on your own as Sonic. If he, I mean, he still... Tails is collecting rings you wouldn't normally get, is like, kind of what makes up for him being annoying here. You know, you can use him to get rings you normally wouldn't get. So he's not really losing you any rings. He's losing rings that he got that you wouldn't have gotten otherwise. So it's not terrible, it's just annoying to see him get hit, and then it feels like he lost you rings even though you technically didn't have them. There's like a stock market commentary in there somewhere. Tails games? No. Tails games. So if I remember... The next one's right up here. But I need to get the rings first. Luckily, they could have done something really dumb and annoying, but they didn't. Which was make Tails hit checkpoints automatically. That would have made the special stage collection impossible with how much Tails just flies around the place sometimes. all the Mimic wanted was a fluffy tail with a white tip. Yeah. A project people have been working on for ages is trying to domesticate foxes. I mean, it's not really ethical, but if they ever just pull it off and we just have them, and it's like, well, there's no harm done now, they just exist. You can't change that fact. I think I will get a domesticated fox if they ever finish that genetic project. Because I really like the idea of a fox as like a pet animal. Like the idea of like basically a more independent dog, a little smarter, and has like a lot of the cat kind of personality traits. I like cats, but I also don't mind how like openly dogs want affection. I think it just goes a little far. And I think they're... what I don't like about dogs is they're a little too dependent on you. It feels like a dog can't do a lot on its own for itself without you sometimes. And that's something I'm not super fond of with dogs. Oh, here it goes. Oh, I missed 3. Are you kidding me? Yeah, it's basically just selective breeding. But, like, very rapid and intensive. This is what I'm talking about, where I knew I was going to mess some special stages up. Because I almost did it. Could you imagine if, in Secret of the Mimic minigames, they make Edwin orange, how apocalyptic that will be for FNAF theorizing? Because then all people will talk about is Midnight Motorist is about Edwin. Like, orange is now a cursed color in FNAF design. So I'll have to get Supersonic early in Chemical Plant. And that's assuming I perfect every special stage from here on out. Which is not likely on an objective level. God, 3 short. There's something insulting about that. It's like one thing to mess it up, but being only a few short, like you did it right, ultimately you just didn't tap like precisely enough. Luckily the other special stages aren't that hard to, or the other other goalposts aren't that hard to get to in this stage. So I think this is one of those stages where it's like, it's almost more about getting the early stages so you don't have to get as many rings later. And this is one of those, these formations, like the big triangles, are one of those, like, you need kind of Tails to really get a lot of those rings, but then Tails' AI sucks in this, so you can't take full advantage of him. To get, like, that second hitbox of, like, ring collection. I also find those spiral things you have to do. Whoa. What the hell happened there? Did I, like, frame 1 it so it, like, registered that I would have hit it, but then didn't actually deal the damage? Is that a speedrunning tech? Or is that a glitch in the emulator? Are you fucking kidding me? Can't even, like, die to reset this game. God fucking damn it. This is why I don't like the checkpoint system. Is you still need to get 50 goddamn rings. Which was what was annoying about Sonic 1 system. Sonic 1 system wasn't good either. It was even worse because you were hard locked on how many you could get. But this is like, oh, you have to do it, then you gotta run around the stage again, get all your rings again. Get enough to do the goddamn final sequence. Pop in the goddamn monitor, get the coin, get the rings again. And then there's fucking off-screen stupid goddamn obstacles. Why can't I go through the wall there? I know it's there. I know it's there. Game. Fine. Keep your goddamn secrets. God damn it, why didn't I go on the loop-de-loop game? See? Loop-de-loop. You can do it. Loop-de-loop. There's this one. Temp 3. Okay, people may make fun of me for this, but I think my favorite Sonic voice is OVA Sonic, unironically. I mean, there's a little bit of irony to it. Like, I really enjoy the corniness of the voice as part of it. Like, I won't say there is only purely, like, it's an amazing voice factor to it. That's not what I'm saying. But, what do you think a cartoon blue fast hedgehog would sound like? Do you think he would sound like a Marvel superhero? No, that's kind of what Roger Craig Smith's, even though I don't mind his Sonics, that's kind of what his sounds like. And I think for what Sonic's voice became, is it Jason Griffin? What is the kind of like middle, like Sonic Unleashed era storybook games Sonic voice? He was also in Sonic X. I think he kind of nailed what Sonic's voice ended up becoming, but in a Genesis era, you know, like a. Why did I get enough this time? I mean, I'm almost there. I only need to get 2 more. So I only need 2 special stages in Chemical Plant or Other Zones, and I'll get Supersonic. And once you have Supersonic, you can blaze through this game. Oh, god damn it. Now I've got to do the goddamn boss no-hit, and that's not that hard. It's just annoying. That's the other thing I don't like about the goddamn system here. Like,
I'm just locked in having to do the first boss no hit because I beat the boss and accidentally tapped right for a few frames. It's not even that hard of a boss, it's just one easy to get hit by accidentally. I don't even know what his scheme is here. Like, he's just running at us with a drill. Was he just not expecting Sonic to be here? Strange, isn't it? Exactly, like Sonic sounds like what I think Sonic would sound like in that era. You know? He's like snappy, he's cartoony, like like the way he explains things, it feels like correctly snarky for early Sonic. Which is another big part of it. It's like Sonic like was he was, and still kind of is, but he was a bit of a smartass, and there was this kind of like impatience to his character that I think got lost, and you can argue that's character growth and maturity, and I agree with that too. Like, and I agree with that. I'm not even gonna like say like to an extent, I just do. But for like representing Sonic as like what he was envisioned as, I like that kind of like likable but not irredeemable asshole, you know? Like, not even quite like Star-Lord levels of like, you know, kind of like rough around the edges. Just like, nah, he's just kind of quippy. Or not even just kind of quippy, not even Spider-Man quippy, just like, I instinctively jumped there because of Sonic Mania. Hit a ring. But the kind of like, yeah, whatever, I don't care. But Sonic, what if this is the one time that Eggman's not evil? I guess. God, fucking, and this is why the 50 ring system sucks. I'll stand by that. It's the worst mechanic for special stages. I know it's a skill test in that it checks if you are able to do the stage no hit, basically. Like, I'll give it that. It does that part well. But I don't think playing a stage, like, because it's not rewarding if you're playing for a stage for the first time or whatever. I didn't even see a checkpoint in that level, by the way. Like, I was looking for one. That was... I guess the top path just took me away from them? I don't mind the ring gimmick for, like, bonus rewards on the checkpoints like Sonic 3 did. But I really don't like the gimmick for getting the Chaos Emeralds. Look, I know it's coming, and I think I can squeeze into the goddamn thing before, but I can't jump at the guy because I got hit by it anyway. And I'm not going to have 50 rings when I hit the checkpoint, by the way. I'm not even, why even hit the checkpoint, you know? Why even bother? It's actually kind of better to redo the stage so I can get the 50 rings again. Which is the other thing that sucks about the system is, because it's tied to checkpoints, a basic goddamn mechanic in this game, it means you're rewarded for dying, not doing well. Yeah, bootleggers. Yeah, isn't there like a weird unfinished version of Sonic 2 from like a beta build that was commonly used by bootleggers or something like that? This part's cruel. Like, that whole flippy bit, the fact that it goes right as soon as you would get onto it. One of those, like, if you didn't know about it, what were you supposed to do? And I've officially lost my ability to get supersonic in this stage. I did this one no-hit, too. But I couldn't get... Or not no-hit. I did this one mostly clean, and I got 50 rings, too. But it's like, it's incredibly unfinished. It only has like a few of the zones in the game. I mean, Eggman is usually incompetent, but it's clear, like, if his incompetence mostly comes from his ego and the fact that he's using his intelligence very poorly. Is how it explained Eggman's incompetence. Like, he's a genius who does not know how to use his genius in any way that is not extremely stupid. Because he always presumes he can use it the correct way. Okay, I might actually be able to. This is why I say, like, it's a good thing Tails doesn't collect rings. So I know there's one there. Let me see if I can get 50. I want to get supersonic this run. And I believe I can. Now I'm miles away from it. God damn it. I guess it makes shields more valuable. It's like more than just taking a hit, you know? I think Green Hill is the only stage where I feel like the special stages are like the checkpoints are like well balanced for the current point of the mechanic. It's almost like they want. It's almost like they want or expect you to spam the first stage. Like look at this. Like, I get flung to the end of the level. I get locked in the end of the level if I see it. God forbid I want to go back to get your secrets you hid in the game. This is an example of how, like, one mechanic that you, or a feature you like. So I like Supersonic. I really like the Chaos Emerald collecting part of the Sonic games. Like, it's a great reward. We're really chugging. But the execution, you know, the execution of this particular special stage system, I don't even hate the special stages themselves. Just the premise behind how you get them, I think, is dumb. I thought I was below that. Can you tell I'm very experienced with Green Hill, but not these later stages? No! And it only loads when I'm on screen, so watch me not get the goddamn bubble. Arrows. I don't like the arrow on this stage. I don't mind the rest of Clock Ruin. It's actually a pretty good water stage overall. And now I'm gonna run under water because this is not gonna make the bubble in time. Where is it? Huh. I've been weirdly fortunate with the Oh, that's not... You can't stand there? Oh, you can. The game feels like it. Bubble, bubble, bubble. Come on, there's gotta be some way to the surface. or a checkpoint somewhere. Try not to be crushed by these things, I know I will if I'm not careful. Come on, there has to be one checkpoint before the boss stage. There always is. They wouldn't launch you into a boss fight without a checkpoint. Come on, there, okay. Yeah, it's Grounder. Is this the second to last emerald, right? I'm not a fan of the color on this one. You know what I'm talking about, where like Tails is really dumb in the special stage design, where he's really slow at following you? Like, unnecessarily so. Why is he not centered with me? I swear, I'm... No, that might have cost me it. No! This Tails is going to get fucking hit. And I'm not talking about, like, I'll pass this segment. I think I'm good here. But the final stretch of this level is brutal. Because it expects you to get so many goddamn rings. And if you don't get a lot of rings in the prior area, then Tails will inevitably lose some of the rings he collects with you. Because you have to... They place rings outside of the jump radius because of how Sonic jumps in this game. Like, most of them are fine, but... But there's not going to be 8. It's just going to go straight to the emerald. You know what I'm talking about, where it's like, I actually was fine on that final segment overall, but because I messed up the earlier segments, you basically lose. Like, yeah, it could have been better technically, but this boss fight also isn't that hard. It would really suck if I don't get Supersonic. I only get 5 of the goddamn emeralds. Tails, could you pull your weight some and actually hit Eggman? There you go. Thank you, buddy. There we go. Yeah, I don't know why he's hammering the pillar, to be completely honest. It's one of those boss fights where I have no clue what his scheme is. I guess he's doing it to hit the arrows out of it? Okay, if I can't get 50 rings in this goddamn stage. I feel like this was almost made to be the you get Supersonic here in case you didn't prior stage because of the gambling gimmick. Oh, it's interesting. I never noticed it says miles there. There. Oh, well, that'll work. We're gambling. I will time out on this goddamn stage if I don't get Supersonic. If it kills me. I refuse to not. Do people actually really like the casino stages? I'll say this. I mean, I think people like the gambling part of it, where all that, but the actual like bumper system that they always have. Especially for these. Do people like find these fun? That'll work. I probably could have collected enough rings through the stage, honestly. Now we just scour high and low. Like, gambling's a funny mechanic, but I think the weird bumper, pinball, repetition. See, people often say Sonic needs like a wider screen. Sonic needs to be a little smaller sometimes. Need. Worst part is when I know about a gimmick and I want to work with it. Then I get blocked from really engaging with it. Where's a goddamn checkpoint? Look at this block. Can't make it up there from that jump. Where is a checkpoint? Aren't all Act 1 supposed to have 3 checkpoints? How am I missing every single checkpoint? You're referring to Miles Davis. Not. Everywhere where it looks like, you know, a checkpoint should be. Here, or is this going to be the end of the stage? I find it interesting that Tails is already notable enough by Eggman and or whoever designed the casino to have not only his name everywhere, but to have him, like, embroidered into the walls. Like, remember, this is Tails' like, first official outing with Sonic, and he's already Fred, like, I guess, or whatever logic causes him to be present by the same logic as Sonic. Like, he's either already a hero or he's already a threat. Got an extra life. End of the stage. Where was the checkpoint? I know there's a prequel, but it's just kind of like funny. Amazing mechanic for special stages. I don't have this much trouble finding the big rings, a hidden mechanic in Sonic 3. And neither do I have this trouble in Mania. This is a problem I only have in Sonic 2 after fucking Green Hills, finding the goddamn checkpoints, which are a thing that's supposed to be everywhere in the game. Like, the whole point of this gimmick is that if you made it through the stage, right? You did. Oh, god damn it. If you made it through the stage, you were playing well, right? Now you get rewarded with a chance for a stronger form that always works. Right? Why does that combination give you 2 rings? Just having Sonic good enough? Halfway through this goddamn stage and I haven't seen a single checkpoint. I don't want to have to just keep relying on boss. Like, am I just playing through the stage poorly? Like, I'm trying to figure out where, like, I'm going wrong with this. There we go. The boss checkpoint, though. What is right eye theory? The other thing that's a little tricky about that they really fixed the mobile port, I'll say, and also the Origins port, the special stages, is not only did they fix Tails' AI and they made the 3D effect look better, but Sonic like naturally gravitates to the center in that a lot more naturally, whereas he's kind of off center in this where he like gravitates. He sticks a lot more to whatever location he was on. Whereas in the actual original Sonic 2 like version of the stage, Tails loses your goddamn rings and pisses you off. But also, god damn it, like he doesn't gravitate to the center properly. In this one, the annoying thing is like I know what's going to happen. Remember when you see those giant things jump super early? I jumped before it fully even appeared. I don't know how to jump sooner than that. Come on, this is what I'm talking about. It's like, go to the center. I think I got it this time. Alright, 1 emerald down. If it was Sonic 1, I would have gotten them all. I also don't get this part. I don't get why it robs you of your rings if the idea it's supposed to reward you for playing well, right? Like, oh yeah, all this progress and effort you put in? Yeah, fuck you. Yeah, you gotta do it again. Do it again. You want more? You want more emeralds? Nah, do it again. Kidding me? Is this some kind of joke to you? It really likes giving me triple tails. Correction, triple miles. Who do you think called Tails first? Do you think the bullies did, or do you think Sonic did? Given that I could see either. I could see like the Robotnik goal, because Robotnik canonically changes his name to or not changes his name legally, but he starts going by Eggman. To own Sonic's insult. Like, he doesn't want it to be derogatory. He's like, no, I am the Eggman. Fuck you. Like, that's kind of the point of him running with that name. It's more of a justification of the like the Japanese name, which is just kind of weird. But it kind of it also was a little the name Eggman was a little out of place. Anyway, I'd argue, not completely. It's the original name. It's what he's supposed to be called. But I like the explanation of, and it's very in character for him to be like, no, I won't let you drag my name down. I'll be the Eggman. So it could just be that Tails likes the name, or that he wanted to own the insult, or maybe it's just what Sonic calls him. And he was like, ooh, Sonic calls me, I'll go by that. Okay, here's the boss ring. If I had to make a Sonic video, what would it be about? I think I have actually been toying with a script, which would be a pre-write for Sonic Movie 4. And here's the thing, I want to emphasize, I actually don't like pre-write videos that much. It's just that I really like Metal Sonic, and it's, we don't know much about how his character is going to work in Sonic 4. Because the what we did get of him was very... Okay, I need another stage for this. I'm doing terribly. What the... Are you supposed to jump from side to side in this version? I'm struggling to figure out what the... Because the last time they pulled that gimmick, right? They want you to slide back and forth in this. But I think they want you to jump back and forth in that version. I don't want to do a rewrite. I want to do a pre-write. Specifically, I want to make an outline for what I think a cool Sonic 4 script would be. I know that those are almost always like nerdy fanfiction-y kind of things, but there's just some cool ideas I want to share. I think there's like a really organic way to work in what we know of as Metal Sonic into that while still having like the mechanized drum concept. And I think there's also a way to kind of work in a Jim Carrey Eggman-esque villain without literally having Jim Carrey anymore, and without having Eggman. Because I don't know how they would work in Eggman after Sonic 3. I kind of like the idea of this boss having like you can spam it if you're good at the pinball mechanic aspect to it, but it's really annoying. That bouncy shit. The one thing I'm not quite sure of in the pre-write I've been working on is Amy's character, because I'm not really sure which Amy they're going. I'm guessing, based on what we saw of her in the end credit scene, it's going to be the tougher, more competent Amy that we sometimes get. It'd be really funny, and I think this would be a funny way for Amy's character to come full circle, if movie Amy has the personality of like Game Sonic, or like I'm trying to explain, like, because movie Sonic has a different personality than Game Sonic. It's kind of obvious. If she's like the fun-loving kind of like carefree freedom fighter kind of personality, not to say that Sonic isn't kind of that, but like I said, movie Sonic is just a different interpretation of the concept of Sonic than Game Sonic is, and that's not a problem. That's not a bad thing about movie Sonic. I think Mecha and Metal are kind of related in a sense that Mecha is at a score of Badnik the same way Metal is. But
I also, you know, when we see promotional stuff of Sonic, and whatchamacallit, or not, of Metal, of the Badniks in general, I should say. The only Badnik other than I mean, Sage isn't a Badnik per se, but the only creation of Eggman treated as family by Robotnik other than Sage seems to be Metal. Like, the other Metal Sonics seem to be just kind of kept in storage for when they're convenient. But Metal seems to be, like, Eggman's pride and joy that he's always working. Like, even when he's not a threat in a game, we often see him in, like, the background of Eggman's lab, like in Sonic Adventure 1. To, like, show that he's still working on Metal, he just isn't finished yet. Or he just isn't ready to use him again. In fact, I suspect Metal would have been in this game in place of Silver Sonic. If SDI or yeah, Sega Technical Institute, if SDI and Sonic Team Japan were actually working together, which they weren't when they were making these two games. But I suspect if they were working together, Metal would have been in this game. Or Silver Sonic would have... Nah, I think Metal is the better design, so I think they would have gone with him. But the kind of long and short of the pre-write I was working on is it has Dr. Starline as the villain, and is mostly focused on Mobius. What the fuck am I supposed to do there? Also my rings. Because I think Starline creating Metal actually makes a weird amount of sense if you know his character. Because he's already, like, and it even kind of segues into Surge. Like, I want the idea is he creates Metal in this movie because he's emulating Robotnik and wants to fill his role. But he would create, like, Surge as, like, the kind of final stinger of, like, well, if machinery failed, I'll go organic. I'll try to match Sonic himself. That's what I'm talking about, where I fucking hate the end stage system. Oh yeah, I guess Mecha Sonic is technically... Yeah, I forgot, it's Mecha Mark II, technically. I always think of Mecha as just the blue one from Sonic 3. Mecha isn't more powerful than Metal Sonic. He just had the boost in that case. And it's a more experienced Eggman, so, is what I'd argue. Whereas Metal Mark I is the better rival counterpart to Sonic. But, you know, he didn't have any Chaos Emeralds or anything boosting him the way Mecha does with the Master Emerald. It's kind of not a fair comparison. And yeah, Mecha does look more threatening. In fact, I wouldn't mind if Mecha was like the evolved form of... if Mecha was the evolved form of Metal in the Sonic movie, I think that'd be a cool way to handle the designs. Like, if we saw different... What am I supposed to do here? Huh? Okay, I think I got it. God damn it, but I'm forced to hit the damn checkpoint. I lose all my goddamn rings. Stupid lava gimmick. I mean, like, once again, it's partially my fault. I'm not going to pretend I'm completely safe from any criticism of my game, because I know I'm not doing amazing. Like, I could just play better, and I'm trying, but... It's really annoying when I just want... Like, I want to do something very basic.
The level design makes it really annoying to do something very basic. Okay, well, I'll be able to try the boss stage. So I'm going to try hopping back and forth on the boss checkpoint. Special stage. Won't be able to use Supersonic against him, but... yeah, we never know what Mecha Mark III... do we ever see Mecha Mark III? Okay, I do think they want you to hop back and forth. Makes sense. At this point in the game, like, you should know about hopping. Damn it. So, okay. No. Can you get out of the rhythm of these fucking special stages? Do they want you to slide back and forth? That's what I'm talking about, where it's like the physics are fucking really off in the special stages in the original version. I mean, yeah, he appears in the back, but I'm saying, like, does he do anything in the games? Find rings. Even there's even the boss of. I don't remember. Oh, it's this guy. I forgot how long Sonic 2 is. Just buried him at the end of the bill. Okay. I was just wondering if he appeared in, like, one of the portable games, and I was just forgetting. Oh, it's Mystic Cave. I thought it was Oil Ocean. Where's in this? How are you supposed to get enough rings for that? Do they just assume you'll be an amazing gamer and immediately get enough rings? Oh, I guess you can just go back and get them. Okay, attempt 1. This time. They really like 2s in a row. That's what I want to remember, is they like giving you... And the other annoying thing is the jump, like, launches you at a really awkward angle. And it's really hard to maintain where you want to be. That kind of, like, level design makes me feel like they really want you to slide back and forth like this. But also, like, the timing is wrong. Like, you can't easily... Look at that. Like, I'm sliding back and forth and Tails just fucking... What is he doing? Follow my lead, you little rat. I know Sonic's more of a rat animal-wise than Tails is, but... Isn't it weird that Eggman just randomly found a goddamn time-space demigod? There wasn't even, like, prophecies about that one. That's kind of what's wild about the Time Eater. It's like, you know, the echidnas marked down the history of the chaos, and someone wrote down the information to Dark Gaia. Like, those kind of make sense. Those are like an origin and like history and everything. One. Chance. No, what the fuck? Okay, no, I do think they actually want you to slide. It's just a really awkward rhythm to do it, so. See, like, it's so... This is so much harder to do the sliding way. But also, it's the only way to be, like, I don't... I'm really frustrated with this special stage. This feels really unfair. I know it's the final one in Unlock Supersonic, but this feels the most unfair. Because it just doesn't... I'm trying to play the original port when I can. I wanted to play the original Sonic CD version, but it wasn't working on the emulator. Why the crushing gimmicks are so dumb in every this is not a Sonic thing. This is every game that thinks a crushing gimmick's like an interesting stage hazard. I know it's different from just putting spikes everywhere, but it's annoying how irrecoverable it is, especially when it's fast and sudden. If it's like a slow, like you weren't fast enough kind of punishment thing, I don't mind it that much. But get me through it. Just get me through it. I think this is my least favorite. I know I'm getting a lot of special stages, but I'm also failed. Why? Now I gotta wait for the stupid spike platforms again. We're getting into the part of Sonic 2 I don't like, which is Mystic Games. I mean, like the physics on this stage are weird. There's spikes on like every other trap for some reason. Reasons I cannot describe, by the way. Like, everything has spikes in this stage for some reason. And I could not tell you why. It's just not like a super fun stage layout. It's got instant crushers. It's got spikes on everything. It's just clunky level design. It's very compact and like very like claustrophobic. Now watch me get exactly no gold checkpoints except for the final one where I won't have any rings. Like my shields from the stages. I'll fall into the goddamn never-ending pit the stage has. That they put Hidden Palace Zone in the remake. I'm gonna be very upset if I put all this effort into the special stages and I don't get Supersonic. What will be worse is I'll probably get Supersonic in, like, Wing Fortress and not be able to use him. Platform? There's no way they expect you to just jump across the spikes there. I don't know the timing of those, because I was like, okay, I'll wait for him to buzz, and then he didn't buzz, so I'm like, oh, I'll go hit him. Go! See, Sonic 2 is usually so good about flow in its level designs when you're just playing them casually, except for Mystic Cave Zone. Whatever the final zone is, I don't remember what it's called in this one. I think it's like Doomsday Zone. Doomsday Zone's also not like amazing when it comes to this to that aspect of like its level design. Why are the spikes even retractable here? What's the point of this? Because you can't go up. Okay, so you have to go left. There's also so many things in this game, in this level that make you no longer in ball form. Probably the boss stage checkpoint, but I want a chance to get rings. I'll be fine to do the section over again. If Tails beats him, so be it. But I'm trying to lose. Okay, bring me to the beginning. Perfect. It's not even like a sarcastic perfect, like genuinely, like that's what this stupid special stage system requires. It requires that if you fucking miss rings on death path that turbo kills you. This is... I'm not going to say it's worse than Marble Zone because it doesn't require as much weight. But this is like a lot of the problems present in stages like Marble Zone. Are present in this stage. Where it's like, it's not only that it's slow or whatever. It's like, yeah, obviously it's a little slow compared to like what you would kind of hope for. But like, it feels the most unfinished of like, why this level design? Why this way? Why do everything the way it does? Why make something so unfun? I don't even think some of this shit's meant to be able to crush you. Like, what is the point of revealing platforms that just stab you, and you never know when they're going to be there or not? Other than just to fuck you. Hold on. Let me just get it. I'll play this 2013. I already fucking said this 3 times throughout the goddamn playthrough, and I'm trying to play the original versions when I can. I've never... it's super easy to beat the Origins versions. It's... And also, they weren't designed to be played the way the Origins playthroughs are. It makes them, like, catastrophically easier, and I wanna beat them as they were intended to be. It just happens that they were intended to be worse. Because there's not a lot of stakes in the playthrough if I'm playing the versions I've beaten 100 times, you know? If that makes sense. Like, I'm not going to be challenged by them if I play their original versions, is the one problem. Or if I play the updated ports, because I've played those 100 times. I've beaten them. I would just be in Hidden Palace Zone right now if I was playing the updated ports. Love how there's no checkpoints. Boss checkpoint. Get to. Here I am. One more try. You like the hyperforms? I like the premise of the hyperforms, I guess. I like the idea of the Super Emeralds being like the chart, because it makes sense lore-wise that the Master Emerald would not be able to just neutralize the Chaos Emeralds, but do like floor. Oh, that's funky. I just realized how they want you to do this. And I'm not going to say I'm a fan of it. That's not... It's super unintuitive controllers. Like, it's kind of hard to explain exactly what I'm even doing, and I'm not going to get enough rings that I realized too late, and Tails got hit, and he stole all my rings. And I don't know what to do now because I hit the goddamn checkpoint and now I'm trapped here. I still have Oil Ocean, right? That's... Oh, and now I gotta do the goddamn boss no-hit because I'm trapped. This special stage system fucking blows. I'm trying to do a bit of a voice there to make up for the fact that I've said this 100 times, and I want some new energy to come out of this. Like, it's just a garbage system. It's so goddamn punishing because look at this. I have to do it no-hit now. There is no... I'm going to lose all my lives doing a fight I'm used to doing with Supersonic. Because fucking... And Tails won't jump high enough, even though he can fly. Why? Can you not hit him while he's going down? Yeah, I know I got Winged Fortune and Oil Ocean to get Supersonic, but it's like at that point... Fuck it. I'm gonna lose all my goddamn lives on this one section. I only have like an hour to beat it before I have to go to work. Hit him. Sonic's controls are not well suited to dodging these stalagmites. Spin dashing, then jumping? Why would that change the fact that he kills me when I hit him? I'm down to 1 life. I've been fucking crushing this game up to this point, mind you. I haven't... Why can't I hit part of him? Is it just... I guess it's the drills? But then the drills weren't hitting me the first time. Hopefully my continues saved up will help. Yeah, I guess it's another chance at the special stage, but I will stop the stream if I completely lose on Sonic 2. I'll just save that for another stream. Intentionally died because I didn't realize you had to do it no-hit if you hit the special stage. Because why would I think doing the bonus level would be detrimental? It's just not an intuitive concept. Kill the goddamn bug guy. I hate that the invulnerability doesn't enhance some of your ability to hit the enemies. Makes invulnerability does not feel that special in Sonic sometimes, specifically since it doesn't save you from crushing, and also some stuff does not die when it hits you. Still cool though.
Where are the goddamn checkpoints other than the final one? Like, you have to go through the final one. Like, there's no... Oh, this is the Hidden Palestone Pit. Tails? Not gonna help me, buddy? Behind this, usually where they like hitting items. I'm also playing a different route very intentionally this time around because I wanted to see if I could find a checkpoint earlier. No checkpoints. What hit me? It was like a... It wasn't even on screen. I mean, it kind of was, like, enough that I could recognize what I think the game is claiming hit me. Now, it's not even that the game isn't giving me enough rings or anything like that, because it is. It's actually being weirdly generous with rings, all things considered.
Okay, come on. I get an extra life if I beat it, which is why I'm doing this. Beyond just trying to get supersonic. Stay here. Or not. I'm just wrong. God, the pattern on this is really disorienting for me. Like, I cannot seem to click with... No. Okay, hold on. Okay, I made it past checkpoint 1. That's progress. Oh, they're gonna... nuke me with rings. But not Tails. Tails is gonna be an idiot. Why is it all one side? That was not 90 rings. Tails is in quotes because it's his nickname, not his real name. And they were really sticking to that in this first game with him. And now it's all wasted. Is Sonic his actual name? Presumably so, based on the fact that Tails is in quotes. One problem is I don't think Oil Ocean is very forgiving when it comes to rings either. And I don't know where any of the checkpoints in the stage are. Seahorse enemies are so weird. I think that's because seahorses themselves are just weird animals. Okay, it looks like Oil Ocean's a little bit more generous for the rings than I remember. Ah, checkpoints. Oh, checkpoint. Would you look at that? In some continuity, Sonic does have a different, like, natural name. In the Sonic Bible, which was the US's pitch for what Sonic's origin story should be. Before Japan kind of settled on what his deal was. Kind of before you get, like, the I'm just a guy looking for fun personality of Sonic that Japan ran with. Tails. I think you basically have to do that first section perfect if you want to beat this special stage. But it's just oscillating, and then they hit you with 3 on the on the left. And then Tails' AI completely breaks. 4 on the left. Correction. 4 on the left. So 4 left when I get there. With Supersonic, you can kind of bully up those slides. I was trying to chest if I could. Pull the same trick. What the? I feel like it's showing very much where my difficulties lie with Sonic 2. The weird thing about the projectiles in this game is, like, they're so small often when enemies shoot them. This is some problem I have with those little... Huh, I didn't think they would actually allow you up there. And they haven't implemented the idea that shields deflect bullets yet. So... you just kind of have to eat shit sometimes. What's the point of giving you invulnerability before this segment with no hazards? I guess it kind of lasts into some of the hazards here, but, like, not really saving me from jumping over these spikes. I need it for more stuff like the enemies. Ooh, like Octoroks. Oh. Yeah, the stuff like the Sonic Bible is not canon to the game continuity, really. It was just all just pitches and ideas for like what Sonic was or should be. And some of them did get adopted into stuff like the Fleetway comics. And some of Archie Sonic and Sad I Am kind of borrow some of the ideas too. What I find really fascinating is the early days before they really figured out what the hell the Chaos Emeralds were. Because Sonic 1 didn't really state what they did. They were just kind of presumably important MacGuffins. Like, I could not tell you what a Chaos Emerald did. One problem I'm noticing is it feels sort of like the upper paths aren't as beneficial as they should be. I feel like if I'm running an upper path, I should be getting more secrets or fun things to do because I'm doing a harder path to get to that's more engaging. You know? Look at these projectiles. Like, by the time I realize they're being sent at me, I don't know what to do. Like, I obviously I can just jump over them. If you're probably watching the stream, it's probably not that bad looking for like reaction time. Okay, that's probably... How am I supposed to get to it? I just realized, like, what do I do? Okay, I think I'm gonna... No. Okay, I think I'm just gonna go... let myself die so I can try this again. Yeah, so there is some lore about them, I guess, in the Japanese version, but we didn't have that in the English version, so they just kind of made shit up. And a lot of there is even Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, the weird Looney Tunes-esque incarnation that like has the big meme Robotnik that everyone makes fun of and jokes around about. Has like the Chaos Emerald is like, once again, it's kind of magical MacGuffins, and I think there's only like a couple of them. Let's see if I can find on a lower path one of the... I don't know how I feel about these like pushback spring things, because on one hand they're like an interesting way to make the springs more engaging than they kind of are naturally. On the other hand, it feels like it kind of fucks with the mechanic that was fine. Just to slow down, to once again, I guess to make it more interesting, but also to... I don't know what's the difference. Checkpoint. I really hope this isn't the boss checkpoint. So you can slide back and forth, but the rhythm is really fucking brutal. Okay, you have to jump in that segment, I think. Not even one more set? So jumping back and forth, essential, I think. It's gonna be the boss soon, though. Maybe this is a mid-stage checkpoint, actually. Okay, this is actually a mid-stage checkpoint. I actually found one early. Miracle. Oh yeah, the Sonic box art that has all the weird bonus statements attributed to like Sonic and stuff. Again, I'm kind of unsure what the vulnerability does here, but won't knock it exactly. Can I not spin dash here? Oh. There we go. Alright, so you slide back and forth, then do jumpies back and forth. And let's see if I can get some of these goddamn... God damn it. See what I'm talking about? It's like the timing is fucking impossible. And Tails is just doing nothing. I got exactly enough, and then I'm not going to get enough this time. And behind Tails, though, which is interesting. That also means he's going to get most of the rings. Just not good. Because he's stupid. It's 4 times. What the fuck is wrong with me? Should know this by this point. Yeah, Tails is 8. He's also a hyper genius. He gets no excuse. Did I get multiple continue? I don't have time. This is the boss. Why does that hurt me? Why didn't I get my ring? Once again, no rings. Oh, actually, we're merciful this time. Miracle. Wait, why does the stage after Mystic Cave Zone give you rings, but not the Mystic Cave Zone itself? What I don't like about this boss is how much waiting it is. Like, it's a very slow boss. And why does the rings phase through? Jump on! And it's a miserable boss. Come on. God damn it, what are you supposed to do if you get hit? Yes. I like that bit. That's kind of a funny way to remix the fight some. Stupid button. Next level, and still no supersonic. I'm really annoyed that it's taking me this long. Because I've replayed that goddamn stage. 4 lefts, 4 lefts. 4 on the left. Side, then jumps. Goodbye, just a guy. Drop push. This credit, the stage looks cool. Like it looks big and important, which is nice. Given it's the final-ish zone for Wing Fortress. I think they're actually decently generous with checkpoints in this level because the rings and the overall gameplay loop are so difficult. This is what I'm talking about, was like the really annoying projectiles, for example. And these stupid fuckers from Sonic CD. No, it launched me into it. Well, I guess I'm not getting supersonic. Music's also not exceptional in this one compared to the... I don't hate it. But it's a little... It's almost like too Genesis-y, if that makes sense. What the fuck? Go! Just gonna game it. I really wanted to get supersonic. I'm really upset that I didn't. I know there's still technically a chance I get it, but I'm running out of time. I might just have to try the game again, honestly, and I know it's not going to be a super fun example of a stream where I have to redo an entire game, but if I get supersonic, because I did everything better, I'll breeze through the second half of the game, whereas, like, it's just going to be me suffering on Doomsday Zone at this rate, and I don't think I can beat the rest of the game in 30 minutes. I might just have to call it quits on this one, honestly, and that's really sucks, but I have other stuff to do, and I'm not really having fun just throwing myself at a difficult stage, like, without anything to work with. Yeah.